Hey guys, Lucas from iExplore here. Today we're going to do some street photography in Ginza on this beautiful sunny winter day with a Yashica Electro 35, which is a film camera, and I have black and white film loaded in there, so this should be interesting. Now before that, I want to thank everybody who supports us on Patreon. We really appreciate you guys very much, especially the recent supporters. We thank you in particular because you started supporting us in the last few weeks. Also, if you want to support the channel another way, coming to Tokyo and taking a workshop is great. You can also purchase a map of Tokyo photo spots, which, even if you don't take a workshop, it can help you explore the city. And also, me personally, I do sell prints on my website, and I have a book available called Tokyo Unseen, so please check that out as well. And one last thing, iExplore is trying to expand to other cities around the world. So if you think you have what it takes to run a workshop and put it on our website, get in touch, leave a comment in the comments below, and maybe we'll build something together from there. All right, let's get on to the video.
iExplore.
All right, so here we are with the Yashica Electro 35 GX, which I have no idea what that means. And we got this camera, just on a little side note, this is actually iExplore's camera, this is not mine. We've had this for years, since like 2017, 2016. And we got it because a long time ago, we wanted to run a film photography workshop for newbies, and we were gonna rent the camera. We were gonna provide the camera and teach people how to use it. And then it wasn't that popular. The few people who booked the workshop ended up bringing up their own cameras. So the concept maybe needs to be revisited, I don't know. But for now, the camera's been gathering dust, and I always want to make a video about it. And I was a little bit intimidated by it, to be honest, because I barely used it, I only used it a few times. And then the Pentax 17 came along, and that one is very user-friendly, and it kind of reinvigorated me with film and thinking, yeah, I can use this camera, it's not that complicated. It essentially works in a very similar way to the Pentax. But I just put in a fresh roll of black and white film, which is this film right here. Let me see here, it's this Pancro 400 film noir black and white film. Anyway, I never heard of this. It might be very famous. I have no idea. I don't know much about film and stuff. Yes, sir. Okay. So I don't know much about this film, but it might even very well be really famous or something. But I went to Yodobashi, I was looking for black and white film. It was on the shelf. It looked interesting, so I took it instead of something more famous. Like they had Ilford HP5, which I've heard of, but I thought I'll try something different. And I just put it in. I haven't even taken one photo yet. I'm gonna take something here because I want to start just kind of make sure I'm in the role, because I know the first few shots sometimes don't really work out. So let's see. This camera I'm gonna set on f11, and I'll talk about how this camera works and how focusing and stuff works. Very interesting. It's actually similar to, it's a rangefinder. It's a rangefinder camera. So let's see here, I'm gonna focus on this dude. But I like the moment where there was a truck or something behind him. I don't know. I like the light. I'm not just gonna waste my shot on just anybody. Oh, okay, here we go. I'm gonna take a photo of this guy's shadow. That's what I like, that's what I like. Maybe not his shadow, somebody's shadow. Somebody's shadow, let's see here. Maybe when people start walking, and then let's try to get this shadow shot. Let's see what we get here. Not that amazing. Oh, and of course, getting ready for the shot, I forgot to unlock the shutter release. I didn't shoot anything. I didn't get the moment that I wanted. Oh, there we go. Okay. Got something. And then let's cross. Let's keep going. So the way the camera works is, first of all, you put some film in, and on the bottom here you can set your ISO. So I set it to 400. And then you wind it and everything like normal. And it's a rangefinder, so when you focus, there's a little split prism thing that moves, and when the two images align, you're in focus. And that works, because there's a little extra window here, and it kind of measures the distance using what's called parallax. So anyway, I don't want to get into that, but that's how it works. And other than that, for exposure, it's this is cool, this is nice light. This is a aperture mode camera. So you're basically an AV mode, like you would be on your digital camera. So I can control the aperture, but I don't control the shutter speed. The camera does that by itself. But what the camera will do is it will warn me if it's overexposed or not. So for example here, if I put it on 1.7, I think the fastest shutter speed on this camera, I believe, is a 500th of a second. So if I try to take a photo of this bright light, I'm not even sure. Maybe it is okay. Maybe 500 is fast enough with 400 ISO film. But if it's overexposed, I get a little arrow. Actually, the arrows are up here. Yeah, Yeah, the arrow's there. I just couldn't see it in the viewfinder. And that's telling me like, man, you're overexposed. You gotta turn the aperture down, right? It's warning me. And actually, it's so bright over there that it seems to be, yeah, it's overexposed even on f/16. So I guess shooting directly into the sun with 400 ISO film on this camera, it's gonna be a little bit overexposed. And then if I point the camera to the shadowy area over here, and I'm on f/16, then the arrow goes the other way, warning me like, actually you're a little bit underexposed. But that might be okay, it's just gonna be a slow shutter, so that's how it works. But if I put it on f4, for example, in this direction, yeah, neither arrow turns on, which tells me the exposure's gonna be fine. And the arrows are up here, it's very hard to see them, or they're in the viewfinder, and I'm not even gonna try to show that on camera because it's like, you can barely see them with your eye. That's how it is with an older camera. But let's head into this crazy bright light. There's this guy over here, maybe we'll get a photo of him. He was standing in the sun a second ago, but now he's not anymore. Yeah, no, he's deep in the shadows there, so that's not gonna work. But this way the light is gorgeous. Okay, fantastic. This is why I want to shoot on a sunny day, because the sun's hitting from that side, but there's light coming from the other side from that building bouncing off. All right, let's see if we can get something here. Just gonna focus. I just need a person coming down the street. I'm all set up, f11, plenty of depth of field at f11. Pretty much, I mean, I focus, but really I could just use the zone because the zone is massive. And by the way, this is a full frame 35mm camera, not like the Pentax 17, which has the half frame. Or from the other direction, that might work too. Yeah, it is warning me about the exposure, but maybe we'll just do it anyway. Screw it. There we go. We did one in the other direction, just because at that moment there was a good moment. And if it's overexposed, it's overexposed. That's fine. I think film is more forgiving for that. See if I can get this dude. Is he gonna walk into the light here? No. No, he did not. Actually, I like this 30 on the ground, and then my shadow, I'm just gonna try to get that too. But part of me is, as always, I'm just experimenting with things. So we did that. Would really love a person here. But okay. Oh, there's this guy on a bike, this is cool. Nice. So yeah, I mean, I had this camera all along, and honestly, because it's, you don't have full manual control, it is kind of similar to the Pentax 17 and whatnot. And but that camera was nice because, I mean, I still like it, still use it a little bit, but the point is that it motivated me to kind of get more into film. So I think that's a great little camera for like getting people into things, like into film, without overthinking it. Because this one's like, it's old. It can be a little tricky to use at first if you're not sure how to use it. I'm already well versed in like zone focus and how all these things work, so it's pretty natural for me. But then also like, it has these like really little tiny batteries in the bottom here that operate the meter and whatnot. And I was warned that these can die, and it's been in my closet for like 8 years. So I thought, okay, these batteries are probably dead. I'm gonna have to replace them. And they weren't dead, but those little things kind of intimidated me to be like, I don't want to mess with it. So I'm glad I finally am. Okay, it's beautiful over here, just this gorgeous light. So we're gonna shoot this. I'm gonna keep it on f11. Yeah, just get these two people. Maybe try another version, because I didn't frame it so carefully because I wanted the people that were there. It'd be nice to just get one person. I'm gonna wait a second. Oh, this guy's good. Nice. This guy's good too, over here. I'm gonna go back to like a 4-meter zone. So let's leave alone. The view the other way is great too. I gotta remember that I'm using black and white film, so like there's a particular, like I shouldn't care about color, right? I wonder if it's overexposing here. I can't see those little arrows inside the viewfinder because it's just too much glare. Let's just try. And I shouldn't be so trigger happy because there's only 36, in the roll, and I'm already on 9. So I'm 25% of the way. Go back to a 4-meter zone on f11. I would love to do something wide open just to kind of see the character of the bokeh, but it's not that important. Yeah, I don't have the strap for this thing, so it's just in my hand. I probably could have attached the strap, but like I said, I haven't used it that much. And by the way, it is very heavy. For how small this camera is, it's heavy. I think it's because it's all made of metal. And I don't know much about the history of the Yashica Electro series of cameras. There's a bunch of them. But my understanding is that this is the first camera, or one of the first, like the first affordable one, that has an electronic meter. And that's why it's called the Yashica Electro 35, because it meters electronically. And there's a cool little detail, like here's the lens, right? And then at the top of the lens, there's this little like window thing there. I don't know if you can see that. And that is actually the meter. That is the little, diode or whatever it is. I don't know what they're called. That meters actually, how the light, how it's exposed for the scene. And there was a lady in there. It's kind of interesting, the way she was looking. Let's see if we can focus on her. I'm on 1.7 now. And we have this guy's reflection. I want to get her in the mannequin. Or somebody on the street in the mannequin? No, inside the shop is better. But I'm seeing a lot of the cars and stuff. Maybe from here, these mannequins, and the lady. And then it's telling me it's underexposed, even wide open. Let's just try it anyway. Timing was good. I think my framing was good, but it might be underexposed. I don't know. Get the mannequin and the guy. And this time I didn't get any warnings, so it should be fine. And I gotta say, just like with the Pentax 17 and any other film camera, I guess, it's so satisfying to click and wind. It's just this nice mechanical sort of visceralness to the act of photography compared to digital cameras, especially like now with my Z9, which has like no moving parts and is silent. You don't even feel like you're taking photos. It's just it's a little lame in that sense. It's a cool thing, but it's a lame thing at the same time. Like this man holding his his hand to his eye. Nice. This lady too, same deal. Cool. I don't know if those were in focus. They might have been too close. But then again, I'm just judging it off of the rangefinder thing didn't align at that distance. But I think they were within my zone, because the little split prism thing that, the two images align to tell you if it's in focus or not, that doesn't change based on aperture. So it just tells you, it literally tells you the range. So when the two images align, then the camera, in a sense, knows, just mechanically, the distance to the subject. That's what it's doing. Because you can triangulate it, because you know the distance between this little window and then the viewfinder, and that's what the two images you're aligning. And when they align, there's a particular angle, and then with some trigonometry, you can know the distance. And then that gets coupled correctly with some gearing to the distance that's here on the lens, which goes from 0.8 meters up to infinity, right? And that's it. That's how it works. So even if my distance is wrong, looks wrong here, the zone being deeper, right, because of the aperture, in this case, like I already said, from let's say 5 and something meters or 10 meters down to 2.5, then it should be okay. I'm gonna try a few more these shadowy shots in this direction, maybe on f16, because again, the people just look so cool. Maybe from a low angle. Ooh, maybe I can get somebody with the sun behind them. That would be pretty sick. Let's see if we can do that. No flip out screen on this thing, I'm afraid, so I have to actually get really low to the ground. I think somebody going away is going to be key, because if they're coming towards me, then they're going to see, and then however they feel about it, they're going to dive out of the way to not ruin my shot, kind of thing. No. I realized something. I don't need to be all the way at the ground, because if I put the camera into the person's shadow, well then it's in the shadow, which is what I want, right? So that's an easier way than trying to literally hit the deck with my entire body. Just need a good person. There's nobody really coming. There's a group of 3 here, but is that what I want? I don't want a group of 3 on the side. Oh. I don't know if that worked. Man, I had this strong urge to hit the play button and see the photo just now. I was like, I gotta see this. If it turned out good, but I can't. So I have no idea if that worked. And so you guys have the pleasure of seeing these photos before I get to see them. So I don't even know if they're good or not. Let's see here, this is a nice group of people, but I think it's almost too much in terms of, but this lady's hair looks really cool. Yeah, we're just gonna put the camera in the shadow there. Right, that might have worked. I don't know. Again, I just did the same strategy. I put the camera in the person's shadow, which to me means that the sun is behind the person from the camera's perspective. That should be fine. Okay, let's keep going to the main street. Maybe I'll try shooting through this screen thing. This might be interesting. Maybe not. Maybe from this side? No, I don't see anything over there. It's just the mirror. I'm not going to keep trying with this. Again, I don't want to waste these shots on like the same thing. Because, you know, let me put it this way. Like, I would keep trying if I could get some feedback and see, oh, okay, that's what I got. It's not working, so let's change this setting, that setting, change, you know, whatever. But because I can't see the photos, I get no feedback. Then what am I going to try? I don't even know what to try over there. Like, I have no real good idea of like how to retry that photo without some feedback. And maybe that's a crutch. Maybe that's because I got used to shooting digital and getting that instant feedback. But I just feel like there's no point for me to just like, you know, flail in darkness over there, so to speak, and like not really know what I'm doing. I'll take one. I'll get the feedback later, and maybe I'll be able to rethink and you know, a different way to shoot it in the future, right? Hold on, this is kind of cool. I'm going to shoot this. Let me see here. F11. I like the way this this wheel looks with this little curve. Okay. And then we'll go back up the street with the light behind us this time. I think that'll be easier. Shooting into the sun is cool sometimes, but it gets a little tiresome. Now, you know, you might be wondering, like, wow, the sun is so low, the shadows are so long. It's like 2 o'clock. Tokyo in winter is like this. Like, it's just like sunset all day, basically. So you get a lot of very long shadows, and yeah, the sun is kind of in your eyes, depending on the direction you're going. So it can be interesting, but it is also challenging. I like these little reflections of the light on the ground here. Back to 4 meters. And then these ladies, these are great. Cool, we'll see how that turns out. I realized also, you know, like with my Z9, I got used to having the flip out screen so I could shoot from here, from this position, which is good. But when I'm shooting from eye level, I'm kind of aiming down on people. I don't like that. So maybe I should just trust the zone and hip shoot it. Hold on, now I want to do a shot of this guy in this cab here. Okay, he gave me a look of like, what are you doing? But the deed is done. So we'll move on. I don't know if that was in focus, but I think it was. I think it was okay. Again, because I was on F11, so tons of DOF. So even if I wasn't perfectly accurate, it should be okay. But if it's totally blurry and you already saw the photo on the screen and you're probably laughing like, wow, Lucas was so confident it was in focus when in fact it was blurry, well, oh well. That's how it is. And I love the light. I just want cool people. Cool people doing cool things. Just get this. Okay, let's keep going. Well, here's like an interesting patch of light with this background. This might look cool in monochrome. Just need somebody cool to come through. Somebody stepped into the frame from the right. I don't know if I timed that. Like, that might have been bad luck there, but we'll see. I'm gonna go back to like 1.5 meters. On F11, I feel safe, but if I was shooting this wide open with this camera, I'd be very, especially after a recent video where I tried doing zone focusing again, even on a digital camera, And I sucked at it. It was really hard to zone focus. So, and I did it on f2, like a wide open. So that made it hard. I don't think I could do it on this camera with 1.7. Okay, let's linger here. I love the light, love the environment. Interesting subjects. This is cool. There's like people reflecting. It's weird. I see reflections, and when I look in here, I don't see them as much. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're not as strong as I think. I'm not going to shoot that. Let's go back there. Well, these people are cool. This guy's great. I'll do a reflection shot maybe in this direction. No, because there's a construction there kind of blocking the effect. So maybe the other way? Very undecisive, but that's because, you know, I feel, you know, I don't know if any of you have watched like Gary Winogrand at work. He's always like fiddling with his camera. He'll be like clicking and then he's looking around. And he's like, it's broken. I felt a little bit like that there. I was kind of like, she looked at me and I was like, I don't know what I did. It just went off on its own, you know, I don't know. It's broken. Yeah. I feel like you can only do that with a film camera though. Digital, it doesn't make sense. It's like, it's fine, it's a digital camera. But this is like a little bit, you know, finicky. Or at least I perceive it that way. I'm not saying it really is. There's somebody there. Well, that might go on, but she's just kind of standing there. But let's see here. Okay. I could have framed that maybe better. Let's try it again. Nice. I think that works. I got the thing I wanted with the light behind and everything. But it's just a person on the phone. The only thing missing there was like a better moment. And it took me forever because I was getting confused about the reflections and then the parallax or whatever, you know, the images aligning to make sure things are in focus. It was confusing because there's a lot going on there visually. But I think I got it in focus. I should have just trusted the zone. I kind of tried to like focus it properly, which I think was the wrong move, but whatever. Because it wasted time. Well, the light's nice over here on these people.
פה יש שתי קניונים ממש מפורסמים.
Nice light, but just kind of normal people. When I say normal, I just mean like I'm looking for somebody who has some character or even better, some kind of an interesting gesture or expression or something like that, that, you know, gives you a sense of feeling or like a mood, evokes a mood. You know, I don't like to use the word story because I feel like that's overused. And it's a little bit like, well, what's the story? It's a person on the street. What could the story be? Story has a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? There's some drama. It's not a story, but it's a feeling or an emotion or a mood. And that's what I'm looking for. That's what I mean when I say interesting person, not interesting person. Like if they don't evoke any of that, then I don't shoot it. Oh, this gentleman is interesting. The bus was making the shot for me. I'm gonna try to get these people here now. I'm back on like a tight zone, yeah, 2 meters. Yeah. Let's check some of the side streets. Maybe I get a shot of this guy smoking. I'm gonna go to F4 for this one. 2 meters. Interesting light right here. I like these kind of beams on the wall. Okay, here we go. Let's keep going. Okay, here we go. Maybe down this potential. Nice. Okay. Here's my nice shadow that I wanted the whole time. Cool. Like 2 shots left. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, I like the light over there. Let's see. Is anybody going to come though? That's the thing. It's not a very high traffic sort of spot. Okay, it's not one, but it's a guy in a hat. Oh, there's one there though. But the timing's going to be... Okay. It is what it is. All right, guys, so there you have it. A little spin with the Yashica Electro 35 with some black and white 400 film. Yeah, this video is not sponsored by Yashica. I don't think they exist anymore. But yeah, I had fun shooting with it. I hope the photos are good. I always feel like they're going to be crap. You've seen them already. I'm looking forward to seeing them myself. I have like 1 or 2 left in the roll, so I'm going to just shoot something around here and then, you know, get it off to get developed. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all for your support on Patreon. We really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. And remember always, challenge your eye. Oh, you're still here. Well, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. That really helps us out, you know, with the algorithm. But since you're here, I want to remind you guys the different ways you can support this channel. The best one being coming to Tokyo or Kyoto and taking a workshop with us, or you know, me or one of the other guys on the team. That's a huge help. Of course, we have some other things that we offer. For example, you can purchase a map of Tokyo photo spots. Currently, there are over 500 locations on the map, useful for planning your trip in Tokyo or exploring the city. Also, I do have a book out called Tokyo Unseen, so please check that out. And I do sell prints, so if you'd like one of my photos as a print, check that out as well. But last but not least, there is Patreon. Those of you who support us on Patreon, we're extremely grateful, and you know, anybody who's thinking about it, we'd really appreciate that. That is another way to get access to the photo spot map. All right. And last little tiny thing, there are referral links to all the gear and stuff that we use in the videos, so just clicking on those links helps us out as well. And of course, all the other things I mentioned are also linked in the description. All right. So thank you guys so much for watching to the end, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.